which also saw several vehicles torched and left a trail of smoldering debris, following the wave of Russian drone and ballistic missile strikes on the town of Dobropilya in the eastern Kharkiv region. At least 25 people were killed and many more were wounded.
Мы заложники данной ситуации в данный момент.
We are all hostages of this situation, this local resident said. We can't do anything. Civilians are dying. The southern port city of Odessa was also targeted overnight. The intense wave of Kremlin attacks came just 24 hours after the U.S. suspended some satellite imagery and intelligence sharing with Ukraine. And only days after the Trump administration announced it had halted billions in weapons shipments to the country. A rapid and dramatic shift in U.S. support for the war that had one Ukrainian military commander say they were now left to fight blind. ATS Time, CBS News, Warsaw.
Tonight, the U.S. economy is suddenly on shaky footing. The Trump administration calls it, quote, a detox period as it overhauls the federal government with layoffs, funding cuts, and new tariffs. For markets, though, it's bruising. The S&P notching its third week of losses. CBS's Allie Bauman is on Wall Street with details. Allie, good evening.
Good evening, Jerika. The administration's flip-flop on tariffs this week is another catalyst of economic uncertainty, and analysts say investors are losing faith by the day. A turbulent week on Wall Street, scary swings in the stock market, ultimately making it the worst weekly decline in 6 months. Moody's chief economist Mark Zandi says inconsistent economic policies from the White House are to blame.
It's called stroke of the pen risk. It's the on-again, off-again tariffs that are just driving business people and investors crazy.
Tariff whiplash and stubborn inflation are weighing on consumers as well. Last month, consumer confidence had its largest monthly decline since August of 2021, all of it stressing industries from automotive to agriculture.
I feel like once the prices go up, they're never going to come back down.
President Trump has insisted temporary pain will lead to long-term gain. Economists aren't so sure.
I think investors are coming to the realization, no, this trade war is here to stay. And the longer it is, the more damage it's going to do to businesses, their earnings, the economy, and to stock prices.
And the tariffs President Trump enacted in his first term were much narrower, negatively impacting farmers and manufacturing. This time around, these tariffs are on a much larger scale, affecting more than $1.3 trillion in goods. Jerika?
Allie Bauman for us on Wall Street. Thank you. There is no end to the tariff war with Canada. President Trump is now taking aim at dairy and